From Dan. Hi, Andrew. I'm 18 years old, and a little over a year ago, I lost my dad to a sudden heart attack. I have been struggling with faith for a while now and just recently read your autobiography. What do you believe are some of the most solid pieces of evidence for the existence of God? Well, I'm sorry you lost your dad. That's very sad. The way I came to God was from I think there are different paths that people take to God. Some are emotional, some are experiential. Mine was logical. I came to ask myself whether there was anything moral, or were the postmodernists right and all morality was relative. So I said to myself, first of all, the idea of postmodernism was that there was no truth. And I thought, well, that doesn't work, because if there is no truth, that's true. And that's self-contradictory. So that theory is just stupid, right? That theory does not hold up. But what about the theory that moral truth, that the truth of subjective experience is completely relative? So we see the sky and we think it's a solid dome over our head, and then with more information we find out, no, it isn't. Is morality something that just changes with the times? It's just what fits the times? Or is there a central moral truth that just remains the case? Ultimately, there's no proof of any of this. I don't think God wants there to be proof. I don't think he wants there to be proof, because that would take your choice away, and it's very important to God that you come to him freely. That's how important freedom is to God, that he will not be proved. Otherwise, he could just say, right with his hand on the sky, here I am, gang. There's no proof of this, but the evidence seems to me entirely in favor of the idea that there is such a thing as moral truth. If every single person on earth, and this was true at some point, there was a point when everybody on earth thought slavery was normal and therefore fine. Even slaves. They may have been unhappy that they were the slaves, but they thought it was normal and therefore fine. Was it right when everybody thought it was right? If everybody was a Nazi and they tortured children, and everybody thought that was right, would it be right? I cannot believe that to be the case. I simply cannot believe that to be the case. I don't think anybody believes it to be the case. I think if you landed on Nazi world and you were the only person saying it was wrong, you would be right, and everybody else who had been there before you would be wrong. I just think that seems to me, even people who have reasoned themselves out of that don't believe it. Everybody believes it. Once you have moral order, once you have an essential objective moral order, it seems to me you have to have God. Why? Because there has to be something to which the good is closer. If here you are and you move toward the good, you are moving toward something. You are moving toward an ultimate good. The ultimate good has to be a personality. Why? Because only things that can make choices can be good. You can only be good if you can make a choice. You have to be a consciousness, a personality, and therefore the ultimate good is a consciousness, a personality. And that was what led me essentially to say, wait a minute, there is such a thing as God. There really must be. Then, on the basis of that, and kind of on a whim, I started to pray. And if you've ever heard the old expression, it's not that seeing is believing, it's believing is seeing, that was incredibly convincing to me. Once I started to pray, over the course of time, the experience of dealing with God was just undeniable. Information came to me, wisdom came to me, insight came to me that simply could not have come from myself. I don't have time to detail it now, but things happened that were just this short of miraculous, things that I suddenly knew that I would not have known without prayer. Came true in front of me. So that's the evidence. Look, faith, the way we talk about faith, when we talk about losing faith or having faith, a lot of that is a feeling, and feeling doesn't matter. If you stop believing in Brazil would still be there. God is the same way. So interact. Pray to God, talk to God, listen to God, read about God, and see if that will help you find your way. You're sad. You're sad that your father died, and that, of course, as you should be. That's a situation for grief, and grief sometimes will stifle your faith. But that faith that is stifling is just a feeling. It's just a feeling. You can break through that by following God to Himself, and He will show you the way to do that. All right.